Sashi and Arumi vowed to each other to really try and get back to their own world this time. But then, the place they came to was the Tokimeki Campus Shopping Arcade. It was a world overflowing with cuties, putting Sashi's carnal desires into overdrive. Of course, Arumi's the one who ultimately suffers. For some reason, she turned into a goblin. No matter what she did, everything backfired on her. I guess this really was a world that was convenient only for Sashi. Finally, Arumi lost it. She up and left Sashi and wandered off somewhere. That's when you disappeared. You can stay at my place. Huh? Where's your place? Is it close by? How long till we get there?
Ain't we there yet? This house of yours is pretty far away, you know that?
What, have you been walking this whole time?
Huh? Ah! Is this some kind of moving walkway? Well, Osaka folk always walk, even if there's a bus.
This is no walkway. Regardless of whether you walk or run, the distance you traverse doesn't count. We are currently traveling through a locus between karmic bodies whose fates are linked. From here, you can jump in any direction above the first 7 dimensions, including time.
Huh?
Did you get all that?
Mister, I hate to break it to you, but I'm pretty far down on the stupid tree, even for a kid in grade school.
Right, I forgot. In other words, no matter how far we go in space-time, the location will always remain Abeno.
I know that already. We jumped so many times, I'm practically sick. So tell me, does this mean we're going to another weird shopping arcade? If we are, then how about you take us to a place that's sharp like you are, not dumb like me? A goblin! I turned into a freaking goblin!
Judging from this, it would seem that your fate is not linked with this world at all.
Fate?
That's right. Like when you say, it was fate after running into someone. Or, how talk of marriage ties to fate.
Oh, right. The kanji for that, fate I mean, looks a lot like the one for green, huh? And all this time I thought the phrase was stinking green.
The world and the people in it are linked by fate at all times. If a soul's chain of fate to that world is broken, that individual has no choice but to become a goblin. Yours is an existence that fundamentally does not belong in this world. Don't worry. You'll become human again once you return to your own world.
Heck, I'm a city boy. I suppose it's only natural that my fate doesn't have any links to this depressing field. Oh, now I get it. That's why Arumi turned into a goblin. It's because she and pretty girl dating games have about as much common fate as an old lady from Osaka in a Catholic nunnery.
Let's move before the sun sets. Only 3 dimensions now.
What? So we're walking anyway? Oh. Hey, don't scare me like that. If you got a car, then say so already. I'm just a weak 21st century kid, you know.
21st century, huh?
Whoa, you got a helicopter? Hey, mister, what's that down there? Hello, mister? into the ancient Kyoto, would it? Looking from above, it had a sort of checkerboard pattern. I feel like maybe I've seen it in a social studies book or something. Was it Japanese class?
Good, you figured it out. Historically speaking, we're in the Heian era, the 10th century city of Kyoto. This place is not like the nonsensical shopping arcades that spring from your mind. As long as you ensure the scientific accuracy of your jumps, you can travel to proper worlds like this one.
Huh? Then you mean this is the real world?
The real world?
Wait, come on, Mr. Udis. What's a helicopter doing in the Heian era where everything's so proper? Huh?
Oh, right. You've become a goblin. This will be the first time I've invited a goblin into my home.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. Well, thanks for offering. What's a plain old modern living room doing in the middle of the Heian era?
There we go.
He's a plain old middle-aged guy.
What? Oh, the toilet's in the corner over there. It's the type that spouts warm water. Paper's something of a luxury here.
Mister, just who the heck are you? I understand you can't buy toilet paper in the Heian era, but where's the power for all the lights coming from?
Power? Yin power, yang power, spirit power, every hour. Power, or chi, is my field of specialization.
Hey, mister, you said you were a scientist, right?
Correct. But in this era, we're not called that. Here, we're called Onmyo Mystics.
Onmyo mystics? Those Onmyo mystics? The ones that used magic and shikigami and were feared by the emperors back then? It was hugely popular among office ladies and stuff, and there was some guy who got super famous off of it. Baku Yumemakura?
You're wrong!
Let's see, what was his name? Oh, I know, it's Abenobashi?
Hey, how does a grade school kid like you know an old song like that?
It just hit me. Ashiodoma!
Wrong! That was the bad guy. Who was the good guy?
Oh, Abenobashi?
Finally.
So, do you ever get to meet famous people like him around here?
I'm Abenobashi.
Yeah, you can stop joking now.
I'm not joking, kid.
What? So you're telling me you're the real honest-to-God Abenobashi?
You got it. Aren't you at least a little surprised?
Well, I guess it's not that far-fetched considering. So what's this Udis business? It doesn't sound very Japanese.
The simple fact is, right now I'm looking to break out onto the worldwide scene.
Sounds fishy.
Say hello to my shikigami, baby.
Oh, man, sweet!
I used to have 12 of these things working full-time on cleaning and laundry and such, but they were just too freaking loud. So I shut off all the other ones and stored them in the shed under the bridge.
This ain't quite the image I had.
I guess whatever image you had of me was all wrong, bro. All right.
There's a place called Abenobashi Shrine in the neighborhood of our shopping arcade. They have a festival there every summer. So does that have anything to do with you?
Oh, that.
Huh?
You said your name was Sashi, right? What's your last name?
Imamiya?
Your family runs a bathhouse?
Yeah, but it got put out of business because of the redevelopment, so the turtle bath's gone. You sure know a lot, huh?
And the girl who was with you?
Arumi Asahina.
From Masayuki's family.
Whoa, that Onmyo stuff's powerful, figuring out stuff like that. Masayuki's Arumi's grandpa.
No wonder. You should exist outside this karmic body, and yet your fate is linked to mine. I've been thinking about why that might be, but I guess... Yes, that's it.
You say that's it, but what?
You remember Mune, the young woman that's always chasing me everywhere?
The delicious babe with glasses, right?
That babe is your grandmother, Sashi.
What? Wait, Grandma's name was Mune Imamiya.
I was born into a family that governed the entire Abeno area in the land of Setsu. Since I wasn't in line to inherit the family estate, I traveled to Kyoto at a young age. Through my mother's relatives, I met the Kamo family and began my walk down the Onmyo path. Of course, you're not allowed to visit your homeland while training. I built a reputation as an Onmyo mystic, gained my independence, and acquired a house of my own. It was then that I first received permission to return home. It had been 20 years since I had last been to Abeno, and there were few people left whom I knew, but my childhood friend Masayuki gave me a warm welcome. Masayuki had a wife. Her name was Mune. At first, my sense of obligation to her husband led me to be the lady's confidant, and I advised her on her troubles as an Onmyo mystic. But when a man and a woman's fates are linked, no one can stop them from falling in love. As my visits to her came and went, Mune and I eventually became very fond of each other. There was a large laurel tree at their home. I remember once, the leaves were rustling in the breeze. Somehow we couldn't take our eyes off it, so we stood there, gazing as if in a trance. Right around that time, my name had begun to reach the imperial court. I was to visit the palace for the first time, so I had to quickly return to the capital. I left without having time to say goodbye to Mune. By the time I got there, I discovered ridiculous stories circulating about me. People said things like I killed a frog with a leaf, or that I dueled with a Buddhist priest from Harima. It had absolutely nothing to do with the Onmyo way. However, these legends were well received, and I was swamped with work thereafter. Matters concerning Abeno were slowly pushed aside, beyond my field of awareness. One day, on my way home, a large laurel tree caught my eye. It was rustling, even though there was no breeze. I immediately gathered my things and left for Abeno. A terrible disaster awaited me there. Having learned of the relationship between Mune and me, Masayuki had gone mad with jealousy. He killed Mune, then himself. He had passed away just before my arrival. I cradled Masayuki's still-warm body against me, and remorse filled my entire being. I swore to use all the powers at my disposal to bring Mune and Masayuki back into this world once again. There was a secret rite, the Taizan Fukan ceremony, which was said to revive the dead. It was the culmination of the Onmyo way, the ultimate technique. I had never heard of a case where it had been successful. The purpose of Onmyo techniques is to twist approaching realities and thereby avoid bad events that have been expected to occur. This means with each application, you and the client leap from the world where the event takes place to a world where it doesn't. As long as you follow the proper linkage of fates, you cannot stray so easily into nonsensical worlds. But the Taizan Fukan ceremony was an exception, and it differed fundamentally from those other spells. Reviving the dead means nullifying what has already happened. In other words, canceling the past and bringing the parties concerned to live in a completely new world. This results in an enormous leap, which ignores the permutations of linked fates. Had the ceremony worked as it was supposed to? I found myself standing alone in a strange land. Scenery I had never seen. Trains and buses coming and going. These buildings. It took me a while to comprehend that this was Abeno 1,000 years later. In that world, Masayuki was alive. And so was Mune. But unlike me, who had suddenly appeared, those two existed as residents of this world. Having learned that in this world, Masayuki and Mune were not together yet, I thought we might be able to find a better way and do things over. I thought this might be a world where my wish would be fulfilled.
So you built the Abenobashi shopping arcade, I see. Which means this whole time you've been the real reason why me and Army are having to be put through this stinking mess. So what are you gonna do?
The reason? Do what?
We got pulled into these weird worlds, had to pilot giant robots, got chased by dinosaurs, and there's no way for us to get home!
It seems to me these bizarre worlds based on your geeky hobbies are nothing more than you having fun.
You're wrong! Remember those bird and turtle signs at the four borders of the shopping arcade? Well, the last of those, the pelican, fell with Grandpa Moss and broke. And then crazy things started happening all over town. I don't really get why only my hobbies become real, but we're trapped in these kind of neat but really annoying worlds and there's no way out!
Scientifically speaking, what you're saying is impossible.
Then what is scientifically possible?
The statues of the four godly beasts were there simply to activate the flow of chi. If they broke, the town's chi would merely grow stagnant. Things would just stop happening. For such an enormous leap to take place, it is possible that an echo of the Taizan Fukan ceremony I conducted there somehow took effect.
See, it is your fault after all. Seriously, I swear. Ever since I was little, I carried the portable shrine during the festival, worshipping you. Oh, Seimei, oh, Seimei. Now I find out you're just a stupid old man who makes trouble for other people. It's so stupid and pitiful, I can't even cry or fart.
It's true, I'm the one who summoned Taizan
Oh,
Fukan,
Seimei,
but its
my
power was
butt.
activated because you, Sashi, desperately wanted to nullify someone's death. You, Sashi.
Me? Died? Who died? Masa.
So that's it then. I never thought the fate linking Masayuki to me would curse you as well.
But Grandpa Masa was... No, Grandpa Masa got hooked and saved, I'm sure of it. The thing that fell was...
As long as you keep denying Masayuki's death, you won't be able to return to your own world.
Then, if we go back, Grandpa Masa will...
Most certainly be dead.
Mister? No, Lord Seimei, isn't there something we can do?
No.
I promise I won't call you stupid mister anymore. Ain't there any good way we can fix it all up?
Science is not magic.
Don't be so heartless!
My heartlessness is based on logic.
Man, I'm bored. Wait a second, the horn on my head's gone. I wonder when that happened.
I suppose being able to cry is a child's prerogative. Or you can train to be an Onmyo mystic.
Huh?
Learn how the world works, gain knowledge, stand on the pinnacle of scholarly achievement, and then you can decide for yourself. Should you return to your original world, or not? Arami Asahina's fate will be in your hands as well.
Both Arami and Grandpa Masa? I'm deciding their fate? Mister, you said I got potential, didn't you?
Yes, that's exactly the reason you're in this situation.
All right, I'm gonna study. I'll study harder than ever before, and I'll become an Onmyo mystic with all that science and understanding, and I'll take Arami to the best damn world out there!
Good.
But you know, Arami ain't the most patient person. I doubt she'd wait for me for 20 years.
So, it was you, too, Miss Namiko.
The TV here's got nothing worth watching. Damn it! Stupid Sashi! Master, good morning. Hey, Master, I had no idea you dress like that too, my lord, sir.
I'll have you know, adults don't get all the free time in the world to goof off like you kids do. My work awaits me. I've got goblins to banish. Since you're a goblin, why not go off and build a geekland?
Hey, you said you were going to teach me the science and techniques of the Onmyo way.
I'm not so sure. Thinking about what you really are, it's starting to sound absurd.
Huh? What I really am? 'Cause I'm a goblin? What's this?
It's a trial kit for Onmyo mystic training. Read the instructional materials and study.
That's totally cutting corners. What's a big idea? Come on, mister, teach me properly. Come on.
I don't care. Move it. Get out of my sight.
あなたの心に風があるならそしてそれが春の風なら私一人で吹かれてみたいないつまでもいつまでもあなたの心に空があるならそしてそれが青い空なら私一人で登ってみたいなどこまでもどこまでもだっていつもあなたは笑っているだけそして私を抱きしめるだけ Next time on You Shut Your Gap! Having spent some time being bored and with very little screen time, Arami seizes the right to do the next episode preview from Sashi. Does the Onmyo mystic training that Sashi is about to embark on exist only in order to appease Arami? No fair! The preview's mine! Sit still, why don't ya? Arami once again recovers the right to the preview, and she finds herself in a new world. Its utter stupidity causes the girl to abandon all hope. Next time, fluffy, bubbly Abenobashi fairy tale shopping arcade. Just you watch! It'll be a circus! A circus! It ain't no circus.